Hi, hello, g'day, kia ora, welcome to the studio. I'm Paula from MoxyMojo and thank you for joining me here for today. I am in the middle of making my journal for Junk Journal July 2025 and yes, I am running late. Do I look worried? No. I don't mind that I'm 2 weeks behind in the prompts, because I'm just having fun making my journal. And if I don't get the prompts done, I don't get them done. If I'm doing 3 a day, so be it. And if I'm doing them in through to August, it's not the end of the world. Crafting is supposed to be fun, and that's what I'm here for. I've kicked it up a notch this year for Junk Journal July. For my journal itself, I am using the prompts from Leigh's Art and Junk Journal Wonderland. She's come up with prompts for the weekdays only, and I am using those for my pages. And that is the look of the page, the inspiration of the page, the decorations for the page. They may or may not be somewhat related to the prompts from Debbie at Ink and Page. Now Debbie's done prompts for one per day, and I'm going to use these as my prompts for my ephemera. So that means that every weekday is going to have 2 prompts, one for the page, one for the ephemera, and weekends are only going to have ephemera prompts. I have been making my pages in accordance with this prompt list, and I have been having too much fun. I need to do something for one colour. I thought what I would do would be a page, because I've got a lot of like printables in there, and they're ones that I've picked based on the theme. I haven't got any pages that I've coloured myself other than like my doodle page. And so I'm really into the techniques that Louisa Heinzel started, and then Barbara at 49 Dragonflies also is a great proponent of, and that is using photo paper, distress oxide reinkers and distress ink reinkers, and manipulating the colour and seeing how the photo paper reacts to the ink. So I'm going to give it a go. So I've got 2 sheets of photo paper. I thought one for the page, and then seeing as I'm getting everything out, I'll do another one because I might need it for ephemera once I get to that. Now it's one colour only, so I'm basing it around Peacock Feathers and kind of that teal or turquoise colour range. And so I brought in Salvage Patina, Broken China and Uncharted Mariner as being sort of the lighter and darker colour values of that. I've got 4 oxides, and the Peacock Feathers I've got in both oxide and also distress ink. Now I've not done a page in such a tight colour selection before, so I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. Okay, so we're all shaken up, ready to go. I've got my inks just over to the side here, so I've got plenty of space, and I've got my water at the ready. I'm just going to start off with my Salvage Patina and just a few spots around the glass mat. Don't need to be even, you don't need a lot because we're only going to do one page at a time. And then I'm just going to put the dots around again. Don't have to have the same number. And I like to do all my oxides first. I don't know why. Just kind of a habit I've got into. And yeah, this seems to work for me. You know, we all have our ways of doing things. And I've also learnt, because I'm a bit of a clumsy clod and have a tendency to knock things over when I least expect it, I always make sure I put the lids back on them. Right, so we've got all of our oxides down. I'm now going to put in a few drops of the Peacock Feathers Distress Ink. And you may not be able to see these because it's quite dark on the craft mat. Right, so now we've got our inks down. We're going to mist them, and I like mist from all different angles to kind of get the inks all interrelating to each other. And then we put down some ink on one side, and we go for the other side, and then I like to water on the page, because what that does, and I should say these are double-sided photo pages, by watering the page it gives you very much a watercolor type look. It's a lot thinner than the intense first layer of colour. Now I am just wanting to get some ink on every probably every part of the page, and that's why I'm just turning it around, making sure we've got ink everywhere. A little wee patch there I'm not going to worry about. I've got some on the side here. So now most of that page is covered. So I'm going to bring over my paper bag, and now I'll put this aside while I do the other page. Even though I'm going to do another page, I like to clean up some of the ink that's left over before I start on the next page. And this also gives me papers in the colour scheme that I'm like planning on using, that I know are going to coordinate. And this way I'm not wasting any of the glorious ink that I've got. So I'll put this aside, and this can dry as well. Now looking at the page that I've done, I think I could do a little bit more darker on the colours, less light, because I didn't use as much dark. So I might try adding a bit more darker ink this time. So there we go, we've still got the same amount of salvage patina. I thought the Peacock Feathers might be the bright one and stand out, and yes it does for the distress ink, but we'll see how they all mesh together this time. But again, it looks good, so I'm not worrying about it too much. But this Uncharted Mariner, this is the one I might do a few more of. So we've got a bit more colour there. Now we've got our Peacock Feathers. And this is the one that really does kind of stand out. So I don't want to put too much on there. Right, here we go with the water. Again, spraying them so that they mix in with each other. And then straighten with our paper. Yeah, that's a bit better, dunking it twice. So now see if we need any extra. Not so much this side. We do need like a little bit on that corner and that corner, but this one here is the side that we need a lot more ink on. And we'll do this corner. It's a lot more watery and very faded in comparison. And there's some darker ink right there. So we'll just grab a splodge, but that is pretty much completely covered. Next, paper bag. And we'll put that aside. Bring back our pages. So that was the second one we did, so I'll put that underneath. Swap them over. And I'm just going to bring up my chopping board to protect my table. And I'll slide my heat resistant mats over the top as well. I find that don't want to risk anything when I'm using my heat tool. Right, so now I mean it's the middle of winter here, so it's really cold in the studio. I do have the heater on, which you can probably hear in the background, but the paper is still, I mean you can see that the inks are looking quite a bit drier than what they were when we first put the page out. So I'm going to speed through this because again you don't need to see the heat tool drying, you know how it works. Okay, so here are our two sheets of photo paper, and this is matte double-sided matte photo paper, I should say. I think they look really cool. I love how we've got both a very sort of pale strip and the bright intense bit as well. And okay, so that one's slightly more pale. I think it actually goes better that way because it's grounded here, and I kind of like almost like fingers reaching up, like you got your hands and then these are your fingerprints on the glass. Anyway, and then now this one I can't decide which side I like better. I love the intense colours here, but then I also love this. This kind of looks like a wave breaking, and you can see like the foam and bits of the splashes of water. So, going to be a tough call which one I pick. I'm not sure. So we can either go like this way. That's quite cool. This way. Or I think I prefer that to that one. That's just like a series of dots. And that's kind of cool there. It's not bad. That's kind of boring. That's interesting. That almost looks like a finger. Okay, tough call. Okay, and then of course there are book pages as well. So I'm off now to decide which page I want, and then hopefully I'm going to put my journal together at last. Okay, I hope you enjoyed seeing this. If you've given it a go yourself, or if you've got any questions that you're not sure about before you give it a go, or after you've got and things haven't turned out as you expected, then by all means leave your questions or your comments down below and I will get back to you. But for now, that's it for me in the studio, and I will see you. Okay, so we're all shaken up, ready.